Okay, last time we stopped at this paragraph. It starts to read about this. Abhidhamma Pitaka is the product of a later pace in the evolution of Buddhist thought than the other two Pitakas. The Pali version represents the Theravada school's attempt to systematize the older teachings. Other early schools apparently had their own Abhidhamma systems. The Sarvastivada system is the only one whose canonical texts have survived intact in their entirety. Its canonical collection, like the Pali version, also consists of 7 texts. These were originally composed in Sanskrit, but are preserved in full only in Chinese translation. The system they define differs significantly from that of its Theravada counterpart in both formulation and philosophy. Okay, let's continue reading. The Sutta Pitaka, which contains the records of the Buddha's discourses and discussions, consists of 5 collections called Nikayas. In the age of the commentators, they were also known as agamas, like their counterparts in Northern Buddhism. The 4 major Nikayas are, the first one, the Digha Nikaya. The collection of long discourses, 34 suttas arranged into 3 vagas, or books. Second, the Majjhima Nikaya, the collection of middle-length discourses, 152 suttas arranged into 3 vagas. The Samyutta Nikaya, the collection of connected discourses, close to 3,000 short suttas grouped into 56 chapters, called Samyuttas, which are in turn collected into 5 vagas. And the last one, the Anguttara Nikaya, the collection of numerical discourses, or perhaps incremental discourses, approximately 2,400 short suttas arranged into 11 chapters called Nipatas. Okay, these are the 4 main Nikayas. I have shown you guys on the one that's available on Amazon. Maybe I can show you guys again. If you see the cover that looks like this is usually one of the Nikayas, although there can be other stuff too, like Great Disciple of the Buddha. Okay, the first one that the book mentioned is Digha Nikaya, long discourses. The cover is in green. The second one, Majjhima Nikaya, with a orange, yellow, red cover. Then the third one is the Samyutta Nikaya with a blue, yellow cover. And the last one is the Anguttara Nikaya. Just scroll down here with this navy yellow color. And the one that we are reading is in the Buddha's words. Yeah. This is not part of the Nikayas, but it's a collection, an anthology, collection of discourses taken from the rest of the Nikayas. And then there will be some other books written by, or at least edited by Bhikkhu Bodhi, great disciples of the Buddha, which talks about the chief disciples of the Buddha and some notable lay disciples of the Buddha too. Okay, let's get back to our reading. Sister Choi Kwan, would you like to read?
The Digha Nikaya and Majjhima Nikaya, at first glance, seem to be established principally on the basis of length. The longer discourses go into the Digha, the middle length discourses into the Majjhima. Careful tabulations of their contents, however, suggest that another factor might underlie the distinction between these two collections. The suttas of the Digha Nikaya are largely aimed at a popular audience and seemed intended to attract potential converts to the teaching by demonstrating the superiority of the Buddha and his doctrine. The suttas of the Majjhima Nikaya are largely directed inward toward the Buddhist community and seem designed to acquaint newly ordained monks with the doctrines and practices of Buddhism. It remains an open question whether these pragmatic purposes are the determining criteria behind these two Nikayas, or whether the primary criterion is length, which is pragmatic purposes falling as incidental consequences of their respective differences in length. Thank you.
Thanks, Sister Choi-Kun. Okay, let's take a look at footnote number 9. Someone wrote about this. Categories of sutta in the Pali Nikayas by Manth. Okay, here, Bhikkhu Bodhi noticed that, well, the Digha Nikaya consists of longer suttas and Majjhima Nikaya of middle-length suttas. But he also notices another thing, that the suttas of the Digha Nikaya are largely aimed at popular audience and to attract potential converts. So if any of your friends are interested to convert from other religions, maybe and ask you for a recommendation, maybe you can recommend him Digha Nikaya. But actually, for me, I would recommend this book, In the Buddha's Words. And the suttas of the Majjhima Nikaya largely directed inward to the Buddhist community, like newly ordained monks, or maybe even like for most of us. And currently, I've been reading the Majjhima Nikaya. They are all really good. Yeah. Okay, let's continue next paragraph. Sister Aikin, would you like to read?
The Samyutta Nikaya is organized by way of subject matter. Each subject is the yoke, some yoga, that connects the discourses into a samyutta or chapter. Hence the title of the collection, The Connected Samyutta Discourses. The first book, the book with verses, is unique in being compiled on the basis of literary genre. It contains suttas in mixed prose and verse, arranged in 11 chapters by way of subject. The other 4 books each contain long chapters dealing with the principal doctrines of early Buddhism. Book 2, 3, and 4 each open with a long chapter devoted to a theme of major importance, respectively, dependent origination, chapter 12, Nidana Samyutta. The 5 aggregates, chapter 22, Khandha Samyutta, and the 6 internal and external sense of bases, chapter 35, Salayatana Samyutta. Part 5 deals with the principal groups of training factors that, in the post-canonical period, come to be called the 37 aids to enlightenment, Bodhipakkhya Dhamma. These include the 8 Noble Path, chapter 45, Magga Samyutta, the 7 factors of enlightenment, chapter 46, Bojjhanga Samyutta, and the 4 establishments of mindfulness, chapter 47, Satipatthana Samyutta. From its contents, we might infer that the Samyutta Nikaya was intended to serve the needs of 2 groups within the monastic order. One consisted of the doctrinal specialists, those monks and nuns who sought to explore the deep implications of the Dhamma and to elucidate them for their companions in the religious life. The other consisted of those devoted to the meditative development of insight.
Thanks, Sister Hakim, for reading this long paragraph. Okay, firstly, maybe I should check with, who is it? Saikyang. Is it read Sangyutta with NG? You know, the M here. Okay, so it's SANG Sangyutta instead of Samyutta, instead of M. Okay, thanks, Saikyang. So this paragraph explains that the Sangyutta Nikayas are organized by themes. Each chapter deals with a specific themes, like chapter 12, dependent origination, chapter 22, 5 aggregates. I think the important one is this part. What is it for? Bhikkhu Bodhi mentioned two purposes. One, for the doctrinal specialists, monks and nuns, who want to explore the deep implication of the Dhamma and elucidate them for the companions in the religious life. The second one is for those who are devoted to meditative development of insight. At this point, maybe I can show you the content of Samyutta Nikaya very quickly. Because I purchased it on my Kindle too, so you can see this is the cover, and then we can go to table of contents. Like the paragraph mentioned, part 1 is the book with the verses. Consists of these are all the verses. The first chapter is about Devata, connected discourses with Devata. Second chapter is about young Devas. The third chapter is about the Kosalan. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, these are all the first book. It's all about the verses. And then the second book, the book of causation, starts with dependent origination. Then there's discourses on the breakthrough, discourses on elements. Yeah. These are all in the second book. Chapter 15 seems to be about samsara, discourses on without discoverable beginning. And then there's discourses with Kassapa. I think it's some either monk or lay disciple of the Buddha. Okay, I'll go through this very quickly. So this is book 2. And then book 3 is book of the aggregates. And then book 4, 6 sense bases. Let's see how many books they have. And then the last one is book 5. Oops. Let me scroll quickly. Part 4. Okay, this is book 4. And the part 5, book 5 is called, oops, I missed it. Yeah, the Great Book. So you can see how this Nikayas is organized systematically. I haven't touched this yet somehow. Maybe just a few times here and there for references. Okay, I think this is a good time to stop. Any questions or comments? If not, let's do a dedication. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了， 普愿具唱细秀处，时时唱行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a connected Thursday ahead. Thanks everyone for participating. I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.